Hi guys, this is Tablet-News.com and I'm here with the famous Motorola Nexus 6. It's the first Nexus phablet after so many phones. It was announced in October, launched in November, and we're here for an unboxing at Tablet-News.com. This is our very first Android 5.0 Lollipop device that we're testing and the first Motorola made Nexus device. The last two Nexus phones were made by LG and this model is priced at $649 in the USA. It's a 6-inch phone. That's why we feel the need to analyze it here at Tablet-News.com. It's almost a tablet at 6 inches and it's quite big. It's actually bigger than I expected, certainly bigger than the Galaxy Note 4 or the iPhone 6 Plus. It has a huge box, and when I say huge, I mean a very tall box compared to the usual Nexus boxes. It's a white and let's say reddish box with some purple in there. Here we can find a small booklet. Let's see what's inside it. We open it up, we find the key to access the SIM slot, a nano SIM if I'm not mistaken, plus the manual with instructions, safety and warranty, and that's everything that there is in the booklet. Inside the box we have the usual charger, micro USB port, and USB cable, excuse me, not port, so micro USB cable. And then we have the charger here. As you can see, it has two prongs. It may require an adapter in some countries and it's quite thick, but it also has a special quick charge technology that I really loved about this device. As you can see, there are no headphones in the package, just like it happened with the Nexus 5. I would have to say that this model barely fits in my hand, and I have quite big hands. We have a very small on-off button here, but it's very grippy, so let's start it up, see what Lollipop looks like, and perform the initial setup of the device. As I said, we have a nano SIM slot here. It's placed at the top. You can see its little hole here next to the audio jack. We have stereo speakers, one at the top, one at the bottom, and we have a nifty camera flash integrated as a ring. There's actually a flash here and a flash here, plus the ring around the camera. So we have the boot animation specific to Lollipop. This model is quite thick, measuring 10.1 millimeters. Here we go. And nowadays, with 10.1 millimeters, you can put two phones on top of each other. That's how thin they become. It weighs 184 grams and it's also splash damage proof. It's not exactly waterproof, it's partly waterproof, so you can take splash damage and maybe a little bit of rain. We're proceeding with the initial setup. Writing my name, going poetic here, next, more, next, finish. Very fast setup compared to Windows Phone, for example, or even iOS. Here we go. Our first contact here at Tablet-News.com with Lollipop. I was under the impression that the back button should have been here, probably customizable. My first impression, lots of effects, and I'm not exactly loving this colorful look. It's a bit too playful for my taste, but to each his own. Here we go. This is the quick settings area that has become highly interactive and a bit prettier than before. The animations are simply mind-blowing if you ask me. There is a bit of a greenish hue here. It seems that green has become a big deal in the world of Android. ASUS, HTC, and a few other companies have chosen green combined with white and gray for their interfaces, for the next-gen interfaces. Back to the Nexus 6, I have to say that this device, once I mentioned before, 10.1 millimeters in thickness, 184 grams, quite heavy. The screen is a 5.96 incher, it's an AMOLED with a resolution of 2560 over 1440 pixels. This is just the unboxing of the device, this is not the review, and I have to say quite an impressive resolution, 2560 over 1440 pixels. It's Quad HD as far as I know. We got stereo speakers on board. There's no micro SD card slot, so you'll have to be happy with the 32 gigabytes or 64 gigabytes of storage. There's 3 gigabytes of RAM available on this model, and other stuff we're mentioning here. We have LTE connectivity. We also have HSPA, NFC, Wi-Fi dual band, and at the back you can find a 13 megapixel camera. This is it right here, with optical image stabilization, dual LED flash, and a ring around the camera to propagate that flash. We have 4K video capture. At the front there is a 2 megapixel shooter and the CPU inside the phone. It's a quad-core Snapdragon 805, just in case you were wondering, and it's clocked at 2.7 GHz, we're running Android 5.0, and the GPU that we got here is the Adreno 420. The battery is a lithium polymer unit, 3220 mAh, should be good enough for about 24 hours of talk time. I'm very curious about the camera interface, so here we go. Once again, probably very minimalistic. This is pretty much it. You can trigger options like this: photosphere, panorama, lens blur, camera or video. And here we have some extra settings like resolution and quality. You can take shots in 4:3 or 16:9, but you'll drop the megapixel count quite a bit. We have front camera options. You can film in 4K, as I said before. You can choose your photosphere and panorama resolutions, and there's an option called lens blur that I'm going to detail in the review, I'm sure about that. Some advanced settings here like manual exposure, and I have to say very few options in this camera. As usual, for the stock camera app on Nexus devices we have few options, so that's something we got used to. Okay, I would have to say that my first impression about the interface of Android 5.0 Lollipop is that it's not exactly my favorite resolution. It's too colorful, too playful, and the effects seem a bit overcomplicated if you ask me. Just look at this effect, or just look at this one, or just look at the one when you reach the top of the screen. I find this to be a little bit useless, that small wave that's created here. Maybe it's just me getting used to Android after a while of using iOS, but some of the effects are exaggerated. As far as I know, you can turn them off if they bother you. Okay, so this is the Motorola Nexus 6, a huge phablet with almost 6 inches in diagonal, an interesting ring flash and stereo speakers. We're going to review it soon at Tablet-News.com. This is the unboxing and the price is $649. That's it from us. Bye bye.